Hey folks, Wandering Kid here. Welcome back to IvyLashes, Part 2, Single Pick Challenge. What we're doing here is we're continuing on. We've gotten into mid-autumn. In late autumn, I'm going to be getting a caravan from the dwarves. This is the first caravan that you'll get in the game. And unfortunately, the only civilization I'm aware of is the Dwarven Empire. No gobs, no elves, no humans, just dwarves. To do that, though, I need to build up a trade depot, which I haven't done yet. And I'm not sure where the caravans are going to come from. So I've built out an initial outline here of what I'm thinking I'm going to want to do. But I've also broken it off so I can figure out where the caravan is going to try and enter the grounds from. The extra part here is theoretically a permanent access for the wagons with the short paths where the undead will try and get through, which I can trap up and do all sorts of neat and interesting things to get the undead hopefully either murdered, destroyed, or at least kicked back out to the surface in some way. We'll work on that down the road. I just wanted to get the outline into place. So for now, we're going to get that dug out, so hopefully I can build my depot before I get any merchants involved at all, because getting some booze and whatnot would be really nice. Fortunately, my miner is on break, so I will get back with you when I can. The other thing I'm probably... instead of getting back to you when I can, something else I wanted to mention. Up here, see I have water buffalo bull hair and water buffalo bull skin. Water buffaloes are not supposed to be large enough to break dwarven atom smashers. However, these guys apparently are. I've checked their blood levels, which is the only way you can check size in Dwarf Fortress. And they're really small. Not necessarily surprising. Those critters shouldn't carry a lot of blood in the first place. But it means I have no method of actually checking their size. So what is going to end up happening here is I'm probably going to do a little dwarven science inside this fortress here and see if I can't figure out just how heavy they are by using pressure plates. But we'll see how well that goes. Okay, in the meanwhile, I have to wait for some things to be built. So I will get back to you as soon as something of interest happens. Oh, something of interest has happened. Some migrants have arrived. Let's see who we got. And let's see if they're going to make it inside. So, read some dwarves. There's my migration wave. Looks like I got 3 people. Or 3 dwarves. 1 child. Great. We've managed to find ourselves a cheesemaker. Oh, joy. And another cook. No specific other skills. I'll assign them generic hauling jobs for the moment. If they survive the trip indoors. Now, there's usually a Yeti hanging around on the surface. Okay. He's down in the southeast corner, so these guys have a chance. Now, I really need to leave this meeting area up here active. Just so, well, inactivated, so that I can turn it back on when I get migrants. Actually, I'm going to do that. I should make it a little bigger. Make that active. Okay, couple other things have happened. While the Yeti was moved off, I deconstructed this wall here and raised the bridge. So it should be an easy time getting these guys indoors once they're nearby. And I've also begun creating rock mugs since we've run out of bone. And the only thing left of stray parts is this water buffalo bull cartilage for some additional trade goods. My miner has continued to dig out random pieces of the up-down stairway. We've gone down to layer 50, and we haven't gotten anywhere of note yet. We're just waiting on everybody to get over here. For some reason, this lamb is just wandering around. No wounds, just slow. There we go. Okay, now I'll just simply deactivate that. We'll pull the lever. I'm going to let these folks indoors. They should wander down to the meeting area that's inside. This cook is very slow about getting around to doing anything. There we go. Alright, and we'll just seal the door back up. And now I have some more twiddlers. They will be hanging around, eating my food, drinking my water, sleeping in my bed, and otherwise just being useless. Now, in the forums, we had some requests for 2 folks to get thrown into the game. One of them wanted to be my chief medical dwarf. Well, I decided to make somebody my chief medical dwarf, even though he has nowhere to work yet. At the rate we're heading, he's going to be my chief medical dwarf. So, ITD. There you go. Sorry about that, ITD. ITG. I got the name wrong there. There you go. And somebody had requested my first plant gatherer. So we can certainly sign that. And there you go, juxtapose. All right. Dwarves, welcome to IvyLashes. We'll definitely have to make sure that that stays active for you, and we'll try not to get you killed in butchering either there, juxtapose. Oh, I suppose we'll get my chief medical dwarf off insanity duty as well. So other than that, my guy here is just carving out little bits and pieces of the up-down stairway that we were digging out earlier. And he's being incredibly determined to go do that instead of go dig out the ice upstairs, which is just lovely. So, I will get back with you all as soon as I have some further information. And welcome back. On the 16th of Timber, which is the 3rd month of autumn, the caravan has arrived. They come in about dead center on the north, so I'm glad I didn't try and dig all that out at first. I'm going to create just a zone that does nothing just so I know where it comes in at. Just gives me an idea of where that's at. Looks like they're bringing not a heck of a lot the first time they're visiting. They got 1 alpaca that's in a cage for me. 1 merchant's riding a water buffalo cow. And I've got the outpost liaison coming in. Now, problem, I don't have the depot up yet. Additional problem, where's my llamas? My llamas are starving. If they starve to death, I'm going to be in a world of hurt. Additionally, one of my most recent migrants brought a pet ewe, which I'm not going to be able to butcher. I'm going to have to lock this thing up in a pasture somewhere until it dies off under its own power. So I've got a couple of things that need to happen in the very near future. First, my miner needs to finish digging. So while we continue to chat here, I'll get him to finish digging this out so I can build the depot. And out of curiosity, where is the Yeti? He's about to chase down the merchant. Oh no, wait, he's south of me. Excuse me. Okay. Now we can let the miner finish digging this area out. And we can build a depot here. I'm going to use blocks for this because I'm afraid the ice melting while I've got the traders involved I'd like to avoid that. One of my peasants is coming down to dig the building, or build the building, excuse me. Okay, now here's where it may get dangerous. I'm going to open the bridge so the merchant can come in. Luckily they brought an axe dwarf with them to help defend themselves. Looks like the Yetis moved off of the entry, so this might have some success. Okay, we're gonna trade some goods. I'm gonna go to crafts. Move all our bone stuff over there. Interesting that the mugs were not included in that. Certainly not trading off my food pots. Okay. Well, we'll just use the search mechanism there. And move the mugs over as well. Do I have a broker? Don't have a broker yet. I don't think I've got anybody with skills for brokering, but let's see. I want appraiser. Nobody here has appraiser skills. I'll take one of my starting 7, I suppose. Who are you? Aerith used to be my carpenter. He's going to become my full-time broker. I'll get him off the stuff that can be problematic. And then we'll find Aerith. And he can do that. And we'll also make Aerith my job manager, and I'll get him an office eventually. Now, I want to make sure those merchants are coming to me. They are. Excellent. So, we will request the trader at the depot. Once these traders get inside, we'll seal the door up behind them. Okay. And my broker is ready to trade, so we shall trade. Let's take a look at what we've got for sale here. We have some wood. That will be handy. Excuse me. I'm reading that wrong. So we'll buy them out of wood. We're not buying any of that. Now, most of my stuff here isn't worth much. It's worth 10s and 20s, maybe occasionally 30s. So I got to be real picky about what I'm getting. And you usually got to go double until your guys are better. Now, I could buy booze barrels, but I should be better off buying the plants themselves. That would be nice to buy, but I'm not going to be able to buy the bins right now. I want to get to the plants first. Here we go. Now we can make rock pots to put the booze in. This will give me a starting build of booze. As well as I'll have a bunch of seeds I'll be able to store. But for that, I'll need to see if they got any cheap bags to put the seeds in. Look at that. Is there anything else I'm going to want to pick up offhand? I'm going to pick up a little bit of thread. Do they have any cheap cloth? Okay, we've got silk, leather. Pigtail fiber runs for 34. I can get that one for 17. Those for 17. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to pick up supplies for a bit of medical. Since I'm having some trouble with keeping my undead down, I want a little bit to put into a makeshift hospital here shortly. Now, I don't know if I have enough goods to purchase all of that, but we'll find out here shortly. Let's see if he'll do the trade. He liked it. All right. Well, if we can get some more goods going, maybe I can make another trade with him, but I don't need my broker there anymore. What we'll do is we're going to make some more rock pots. And down here, we're going to do a couple of things. First, create a small food storage area for the plants. Block all. Permit. Some of these, you know what, forbid all of them. I'll just worry about plump helmet for the moment. You've got max barrel. Also, we're going to build a still. We'll build it from microline blocks. And we'll build one more food stockpile here. For booze. There. That should get things going there. And get people some booze. Let's confirm I've got a brewer. I do. And there's everybody dragging down the plants for me. Hey, my situation is that I'm stuck in a ball of ice and require lots of goods. Yeah. I'm not going to have much for leather for a while, so we're going to ask for a lot of leather. Because the leather industry here would just be very dangerous. We're going to need cloth. Wood will be necessary as well. Please bring me some picks. Actually, I should check to see if they have picks. Hopefully I'll have some more goods to sell them. Bring me booze in case things go horribly wrong. Pump helmets are always good. Now here I've got a problem for gypsum. I'd like them to bring me some gypsum so that I can try and make some powder out of it. Coal is always good. Lignite is always good. And gypsum. There's a couple of other rocks that allow you to make gypsum powder too, but I'm going to ignore those for now. We need thread. Bring me those in case I get moods. Tools and clay. Alright, just a quick double check of what I'm ordering. Here we go. Oh, I forgot something. I need seeds. Just in case I don't find what I need down in the caverns. Okay, that should do it. And send him off. Oh, these mechanisms are worth a decent amount. We'll send them in. See if we can't buy ourselves a pick. I'm bringing a bunch of stuff to the depot. Okay. And a couple more trade items. Yes, he does have a pick. There we go. And some gypsum plaster. Excellent. Alright, that should pretty much take care of that. I can shut off the items I'm no longer trading. And I now have a second miner. That should speed things along tremendously. And no one else who's mining. We set a couple of people to my hauler earlier in here. We have some emergency masons going. We can shut them off. And we shall allow Enib here to become a miner. And that should help speed things along tremendously. And we have hit winter. So, we've hit winter. Nothing tremendously exciting that season. We got some immigrants in, but we got our caravan. Of particular interest, we have a still. Our stocks still aren't looking too healthy, but at least I finally have a whole lot of plump helmets to make some booze with. Down to 27 prepared meals. I may want to buy some more food off the caravan before it leaves. I don't know how much longer I'm going to have, though. I was able to buy some gypsum powder. That will help for recoveries. Now, I want another stone crafter because my mason doing stone crafting is being slow about things. Not what I meant to do. Nothing, please. Thank you. So I'm going to create a dedicated stone crafter. I'm going to grab one of my haulers. Set area back to default. And we're going to create Eineth here. Also back to default. And we're going to make him a dedicated stone crafter. I'm going to need a permanent mason, so we'll just shut that off on him. And that should help get things moving a little faster upstairs. In the kitchen, I want to turn off plump helmets for cooking. Now I need to create an emergency butcher area so that I can get these two llamas that are starving to death butchered up and thrown down the hole. And welcome back. That's just my import agreement, stating what I asked for. And eventually they're going to tell me what they're looking for next year, which I'm just not going to care about. I'm still waiting for them to drag up enough rock for him to work with. Started digging out another butchery area. Going to kind of work with the same plan. But just in case things don't work out, what I'm hoping to do is create a small run that will help the undead move off of the drop hole, which is here, which will now be 2 levels down, so that the undead does not scare the people who are trying to drop the skin and leather down into the hole. I can't make it any deeper right now because, well, there's the aquifer there, although I suppose I could throw them into the water. But for now, we're just going to dig this out. Now, with the same plan in mind, we'll build a door here. Make sure we don't get accidentally entries or anything of that nature. I'm not even going to try the atom smasher this time. We're going to see if we can just dump things down the hole. We'll move the ramp there. we have a problem. One of the llamas has starved to death. We knew it was coming, I just wasn't quick enough. Now, in my military, I rebuilt the military. Took a couple of people out, in particular, one of the miners. I should bring the other one out as well. I don't want my manager broker in there either. And Arab was the miner. So, we'll put our cheesemaker in. And we'll put Ficad in. Now, we're going to tell our squad of wrestlers to go wrestle that llama corpse down. This is not going to be pretty. Okay, we've got a bruised muscle. Okay, we've beaten the corpse down. We don't have long before it raises itself again. So we're going to tell us to dump that. How are we doing here? We're removing that last piece. So we're going to create our garbage dump. Okay. Now we're going to lock the door. And ITG is currently dragging the corpse around. So let's see if he makes it. He did! What do you know? So we're going to build a new butcher's workshop. We'll build it right here. I'm going to get that other llama butchered before it becomes a problem. Okay, the merchants are embarking on their journey, so we're going to open the door up so that they can get out. Now we need to butcher that other llama before he becomes a problem. And I want to find the lamb. He's starting to get hungry. I'm going to have to pasture him somewhere undangerous. Okay, now we need to dump. It's a shame. That's a lot of wool to have to dump out. But it's necessary. Otherwise that comes back to life and tries to kill us, as far as I'm aware. And we're going to dump the skin. We have two people going to dump the items. Okay, they've been dumped before they were a problem. Oops, wrong hole. And we'll see what comes back to life down there. Meanwhile, we have more food. Start creating some lavish meals. And some more rock pots. Now, where are the merchants? The merchants have left. So we're going to close up the door again. And that takes care of our two immediate problems. Interestingly enough, none of these guys have revived again yet. Last time I did this, they revived inside of a day. So, suppose that's helpful. Now we've gotten down to level 50 and we still haven't found a cavern. So we're going to dig ourselves another, let's go down to 25. See if we can't find something. In the meanwhile, we have our carpenter's workshop. We're starting to need a few more beds. Since I bought some logs, that will help tremendously. One thing we'll want is a bucket or two. And we're going to create 2 bins for a trade good deposit, a trade good area so that they can store them. Make it easier to move trade goods in and out. Hopefully next year we'll have a decent amount.